Greetings to you, my dear ones. The topic of our reading today is your current state, right now. Please pay attention, we are not alone. Today, an extraordinary and magical singing bowl is present here with us, which will also simultaneously dissolve and burn away some unwanted negativity, unpleasant emotions, and anything harmful that affects your inner state. Now, we will take this special magic crystal to ask for guidance. How many situations will we be looking at? We will be looking at 7 situations. I will lay out the cards. There will be 7 of them, as I already mentioned. Your task is to choose one of them. So let's begin. The first card, the second card, the third card, the fourth card, the fifth card, the sixth card, and the seventh card. I will give you a few quiet seconds now to decide on the specific card that truly draws you in, the one you feel most deeply connected and closest to. All right then. I hope you've had a sufficient amount of time, and now we'll commence the interpretation. I'll start with the first card. Your current state is one of absolute readiness to take immediate action, a profound preparedness to face any difficulties or challenges that come your way, and an unwavering determination to achieve every single one of your goals. It is quite remarkable. I would even go so far as to say it is truly fiery and full of passion. There's a bit of an aggressive mood. In fact, it might even be a bit too much here. An aggressive display. Let's go ahead and draw one of these diagnostic cards. No, actually, everything is looking absolutely wonderful here. That is to say, this represents true conscious leadership and a deep sense of awareness. You are steadily moving forward toward your ultimate goal, carefully taking all the essential and necessary steps required for your success. Let's consult the wisdom of the cards for some additional insight. What specific advice and guidance will they offer you while you are currently in this productive state of mind? What advice and what kind of warning? Look, the cards advise you to put in your effort in a much more thoughtful way, which means using your mind and strategic thinking. Instead of rushing into things, take a moment to think before you act so you can avoid the risk of total burnout. This is because there may be some new factors, fresh ideas, or even new proposals, various new inputs that could slightly change your planned actions. And so, it is important to think about how these might affect your actions. And so that this drive of yours doesn't turn out to be unfounded or unnecessary, here the advice is to engage more mental energy and, roughly speaking, take fewer actions. This is our very first card. It is absolutely wonderful. In fact, the diagnosis turned out to be quite excellent. Congratulations. Next, we will move forward to look at the second card in the collection. Who chose the second card? Your current state is grounded and steady. It is stable and secure. You truly desire comfort, and currently, you feel very comfortable. Everything seems to be going very well for you. There might just be a little bit of stubbornness present here. I'm right, after all. I know what's best. Let's do a diagnosis. No, actually, here as well. And the cards show you right now that you are being lovingly guided by divine higher powers. That is, you may be sent the right people along the way who will give you advice, show you things, or add something to your journey. In general, according to this specific card, your current state is absolutely wonderful. You truly have everything you could possibly need right now. You feel like the complete master of your own life, and you are thoroughly enjoying every moment of it. Now let's ask the cards what specific advice they might have for you today. Advice: enjoy yourself, have fun. And maybe you could try to show a little more emotion here, meaning you really shouldn't be so emotionally dry or detached. Now let's look at the warning coming from the cards. We are being told that yes, indeed, there might be a bit too much firmness here, maybe even more than is actually necessary. It is a kind of rigid, masculine, and very assertive energy. It is like saying, I said so, I have decided so, and that is exactly how we are going to do it. Here, I advise you to show a little more compassion, understanding, and gentleness toward those people whose lives at the moment may not be going as well as yours. You are in a state here of abundance and self confidence. Congratulations to all of those who chose card number 2. Now, next up, we shall move on to look at the general state of those who chose card number 3. Oh, here it turns out that those who chose the third card, here there is only anxiety and there is constant pain. Yes, there is pain present. So for you, it says today it's the candle in the bowl, which slowly and partially burns away the things that are bringing you so much pain. Let's ask, what is the fundamental root cause of it all? Why are you feeling this pain at this very moment in time? You experience a sense of pain because either you find yourself unable to achieve something you want, that is, it is as if you have a certain goal, a dream, and you are struggling to reach it or make it happen. Can't reach it. This could relate to different areas of life. In a general reading, we can't specify exactly which area of life it is, but there is a dream, and so far there is neither luck nor understanding of how to achieve it for a very long time. Let's ask the cards for some guidance and insight for you in these current circumstances. What advice do the cards want to offer you today? The cards advise you to seek help. And look, seek help from anyone. If, for example, it's something related to your professional life that's upsetting you, where you can't achieve something. This could be achieving a promotion, for example, or attaining financial well being. You are being advised to make use of other people's knowledge, that is, to accept help from others. This might potentially take the form of a consultation or perhaps some specialized paid lessons for extra support. But here, the most important priority right now is to first look for some other ways, other opportunities, in other words, come up with new methods, and thoroughly explore various resources on the internet. See how other people have dealt with this. Just talk to others, ask around. In other words, you're not alone in this situation. The cards are telling you to seek advice, get some additional information, look for something, and find new ways and new opportunities in this situation. Let's ask in this story, why has this situation come to you? What is it for? What is it really about? And what are you supposed to learn from it? Look, this entire situation is coming to you right now for the sake of a deeply creative process. You are being pushed onto a completely new wave so that you can finally unlock your hidden creative abilities, so that you can learn to create, to invent something that is truly unusual and unique. You are being asked to act differently and find a brand new way out. Look, this Hanged Man card is specifically saying to you, for what exact purpose is this happening? So that you learn to find a creative and completely unconventional solution. So here, we have a person hanging by the leg, and he's observing everything from a different angle. In other words, so that you learn to look at things from a much broader perspective. Actually, it's a really wonderful story. Now, let's clarify this further by looking at another deck. In this specific situation, what kind of helpful resources or helpers might you have available to support you? Please pay close attention because we specifically use this unique deck for your reading. You really do have a very clear indication of helpers coming your way, and as you can already see for yourself, this points directly to a certain woman. And this woman is somewhat older, possibly even your mother. This particular woman definitely has much more authority in her life than you currently do. It could be your supervisor, your boss, or perhaps just an individual who is older and more experienced. You have someone you can reach out to for guidance and support, and you're being advised to do just that. And this situation has also come about so that you can learn to look at things from a different perspective to completely transform, let's say, your entire way of seeing the situation. Let's ask about how this will develop. So, if you look at the situation from different angles, if you ask or turn to someone for help, as the cards in our case have shown, it will be an older woman, maybe a supervisor or a boss, or it could be your mother. Let's clarify something. If you undertake these actions, how will your state change and what will it become in the future? Look, all the various situations start to even out a bit, and your internal state becomes more stable, but it happens quite a little slowly. That is to say, it will be as if you start doing something new, but for now, without any particularly striking or immediate results. But here, your state is gradually evening out and finding balance. So you are taking those very first important steps, you start making them, and your state will begin to stabilize. We continue now, and we are revealing what the fourth card has in store for those who chose the fourth card. So, for those of you who decided to choose the fourth card today, here in this reading, there is a very clear indication of sadness, and not just any ordinary sadness, but a rather heavy and prolonged one. Maybe even a state of depression, to be perfectly honest with you. Well, let's try to take a moment to figure out exactly what this situation is connected to for you right now. Why did you end up in this depression, in this sadness? What is this state connected to? So, look, it could very well be related to the fact that you tried really hard at something and it just didn't work out. Or maybe, just maybe, it's connected to some man, a specific guy you know. Let's clarify about him. Take a look at this. It shows that something fundamental has shifted in your life, which means you were forced to break your plans and adapt, resulting in a notable change in your current state. And this depression, this sadness, is caused by some changes and the fact that your plans fell through, that something didn't work out for you. What do the cards advise you to do in this specific situation? What kind of guidance and advice do they give you today? How can you get out of this state? In general, what do they advise you to do in this situation? Oh, in this situation, the advice is simply listen, to pull yourself together. There's no other way here. Here, you will have to pull yourself together, get back on the horse, sit on the throne, and with your head held high, move forward with confidence. There's also an indication here about controlling the situation, meaning you really do need to get out of this, and of course, it will be very difficult for you. Because death is water, but what they're offering you is the element of fire. And you need to get out of this state very abruptly and decisively. Just stand up, get up, and start running. Let's also take a moment to ask another deck of cards for a helpful hint. Who specifically from your immediate circle of friends or family can help you find a way to get out of this difficult state right now? Who or what? Listen closely. Your home, your warm and cozy home, will surely help you get out of this difficult state. If you have the opportunity to go and visit your parents, returning to the house where you used to live, your original family home, you are highly advised to do so for your well being. Doing this will perk you up a bit, lift your spirits, and of course, you need to channel the Queen of Wands and start taking active steps. Start taking action because, in general, no one but yourself will pull you out of this state. Yes, life is like that. There were plans, but they didn't work out, and here things are reversed. There might even have been some kind of acute situation, quite possibly, because the Knight of Wands is reversed. Maybe even an accident. Let us also take a moment to ask ourselves, why did this situation come into your life at all? What exactly is it trying to teach you right now, and why was it given to you? It was given to you so that you could learn something here, the element of air. This situation comes to you so that you can learn something new and acquire a specific kind of skill or wisdom. By the way, perhaps this is the essential skill of getting out of this state. In life, you may find that you still truly need this ability to get out of such, let's say, a swampy, heavy state, some kind of deep depression. Let's move on. Now, let's move on to card number 5, please. Let's reveal it together. Well, these fives are truly lucky ones. They feel absolutely magical. Everything is wonderful, and everything you need is right there. I have everything I could ever want. Everything is just completely wonderful in this beautiful world. I have it all now, and I deny myself absolutely nothing at all. This is a card of absolute satisfaction with life, self-satisfaction, and self-admiration. You are pleased with yourself, pleased with your successes, pleased with your achievements. Everything is great here overall, but the card is a bit passive. These are cups, so it's emotional and it's passive. First of all, let's do a diagnosis of it. This is ancestral, so let's do a diagnosis of the ancestral line. Yes, this energy is actually well manifested here. In other words, you have truly achieved something significant. You are deeply satisfied with it, you are enjoying it, and that is absolutely wonderful. Now, let us do the following as well. Let us see what specific advice the cards will give you so that while you are enjoying yourself, you do not miss anything important in this whole situation. What advice will the cards give you? Oh, well, honestly, this is just like putting extra butter right on top of more butter. So it actually turns out that the cards are advising you after all. You know, the nine is usually considered a bit self focused. So it's like, here I am, everything is great for me, and I'm just sitting here and everything is wonderful. The advice for you is to turn a little toward people in the direction of others and share this kindness and energy with them. Share your blessings and maybe even be softer with people, be more open. What exactly is this warning, and why are we being given this specific piece of advice today? What kind of warning is coming up for you right now? You probably already know what it is. If you ever find yourself in a truly bad situation, you must realize there might be no one there to comfort you or offer any support. In other words, people won't be as open or gentle with you, which is why you're being advised to open up yourself. Be softer, let energy into your life, let other people into your life, communicate, show kindness, help out emotionally, or show empathy where you can, so that in the future people will treat you the same way. And in a difficult moment, at a tough time, the right contacts, connections, and support you need will come to you. Great. Now we are moving right along to card number 6 and we are opening it up together. Wow, just look at that. So I have to ask, did anyone out there choose card number 6? Your current mood and your internal state are both very combative right now. You could even say that you are standing right there on the battlefield. In fact, you are completely ready to sweep away absolutely everything and everyone in your path. This is actually quite an intense and aggressive mood to be in, so I am really quite surprised. For some reason, your overall mood is just very, very aggressive today. Let's ask the cards what this state is connected to. This state is connected to some very difficult situations that are binding you right now, not giving you any real opportunities to move forward. It is almost as if this circumstance is holding you hostage. And as a result, you feel quite angry, perhaps even aggressive, because you have all of this inner tension building up inside. It feels like there is absolutely no way out of this situation, and you are stuck in a state of aggression. So let us now ask the cards for some advice. What do they say that you should do in this situation? And let's immediately clarify what the warning is. Look, the cards are advising you right now, and you should listen. Take a careful look at what you have and give your complete and focused attention to what you already possess. Here, this represents the card of inheritance. This is the card of your legacy. It is about what you already possess and the milestones you have already achieved. Here, you're being advised for now to be content with what you have. So, the situation itself, the one that caused all this, can be described in greater detail. Once again, something quite unpleasant has come up. Yes, I completely understand why you are in such an angry mood right now. Simply because something happened and you found yourself stuck in some very restrictive and difficult situation. Maybe you can't go somewhere. Maybe you can't solve some problem. There are some factors that are preventing you from doing so. All right, here's a question for the cards. Is there any point in forcing events? Is there any point in trying to force things here? There is no point in forcing events. Everything will only happen at the pace it's meant to happen. You can't influence things here, according to Temperance. Here, the influence comes from other people. This is a card from the second group of major arcana. And here there's a very strong influence from other people, certain rules, certain institutions. That's why, for now, the advice is to accept things as they are and let things happen as they will. You need to take care of your own state of mind. Also, the 10 here is actually a family card. So pay attention to the fact that family is also involved here. Perhaps if you have a family, this state of mind is negatively affecting them. So there's no need to be so aggressive in your attitude, and there is no point in forcing events. Please be calmer. 10. So now we unveil the next card. This is the card number 7. And the current state you are in is that of the majestic empress. Amazing. I can do everything everywhere. At the same time, it is very comfortable. You can, you feel very good and comfortable. And the empress, in its manifested positive state, it creates and produces. And so it is. Here there is comfort you are creating. There are signs that you are being guided and accompanied by higher powers. You feel confident and good. Congratulations to those who actually chose the 7th card. Let's ask. Let's ask what advice the deck wants to give you in this state. What will it advise you? Oh, look how interesting. The Fool came up in our diagnostic deck. And for the second quality of advice, we also got the Fool as well. So, what could this Fool mean for you? The Fool suggests to you, oh, by the way, this is important. The Fool is in conflict with the Empress. The Empress is more grounded. Whenever you decide to do something, you should always do it in a way that is truly comfortable and natural for you. You live at a pace that's comfortable for you. But here you're being strongly, insistently advised twice to step out of your comfort zone. The Fool represents new opportunities, new paths, new methods. Let's draw a warning card right away for the Fool. The Fool really is something new. It's quite different, not the way you've always done things, or let's say, not so much about preserving your personal comfort. Look, the Five of Wands came up as a serious warning because if you don't change anything right now, you'll eventually end up in some kind of difficult situation at some point of intense competition and having to defend yourself. So, for example, the situation could be that you're doing things the way everyone else does. And at some point, you find yourself facing a lot of, say, very tough and aggressive competitors in this market. Maybe there are enemies around you, or you are fighting with someone else for the exact same position or the same goal, and that person is your competitor. So, here, if you do not start trying something completely new, this is a warning that you will definitely end up facing competitors, you will have enemies, and you will have to engage in some kind of struggle. But if you choose the path of the Fool, if you decide to do something in a new way, something truly interesting, what will happen then? Yes, if you follow this advice, let's ask. First, please look at the cards. See, the Magician has come up. Will you live the way you want, and will you be who you want to be? The Magician? This is, I want it, I get everything. You are, in a way, your own master. The master of your own life, you make the decisions. The advice here is to show a bit more of the air element, to be more flexible and bring in something new rather than just sticking to the earth element of this card. Some kind of mental energy, meaning connect to something, come up with something, bring something new into your life, and then your state will become even much better. You're already being guided by higher powers. Pay attention to that. The white Fool card came up very clearly. This means that higher powers are already guiding you in some way to find this Fool. New methods, new approaches, something you haven't tried before. And maybe, by the way, there could be some completely new individuals as well. So you should really keep a close eye on the fact that these people are gradually entering into your life. These opportunities, you hear about them, people hint at them to you. Please be attentive. By the way, if you look at this whole story from another angle, in this scene, we have a small family. Right here is a woman who is a mother, and right next to her is a young child. If you ever find yourself feeling uncomfortable with your child, you are basically being advised to seek some professional guidance, to show more lightness, to find even a bit of childishness, not to live strictly by the plan, to go a little off script. So, if this is about family and you're not present, you can look at it from this angle or that one. But again, my advice is to have more flexibility, more lightness, more joy in life. Be ready for life itself to guide you in the right direction if you don't cling too tightly and chase after your own comfort. That's how it actually turned out. A message for all of you. I hope that for those of you who specifically chose card number 3, card number 4, or card number 6, your current situation will soon begin to improve. We will definitely wait together. I am going to turn off the video now and wait patiently until this candle completely burns out, so that all of this lingering negativity will finally leave you for good. It's this state that is affecting you. May everything work out for you. I wish you a truly wonderful mood today, cheerful and incredibly lively. And may everything go well for you.